Hello, bounty hunters, and welcome back to another episode of Notorious, the solo RPG. On today's episode, we are continuing the exploits of Draven Stormstrike as he is again working with the Trade Alliance on another bounty. To save time, I've already gone ahead and rolled up another target for Draven to hunt down, an angry, argumentative, or loud insectoid humanoid. And we are hunting them down on the planet Xylon, which is a homebrew of mine, a bioluminescent planet with bioluminescent forests, phosphorescent caves, and shimmering lakes along with ancient ruins. And the reason the Trade Alliance is after Zyra is because the target brokered a black market deal providing advanced military technology to a rebel group that later used it against Trade Alliance forces, resulting in a significant casualties and damage. Now you may be wondering what happened on the previous planet of Velos and Draven's interactions there with the Trade Alliance. Well, the Trade Alliance has moved up from the minor position to the challenging position on Velos, and now they are challenging the old empire for control of Velos, which may or may not be a good thing. So since we are working with the Trade Alliance, I quickly put this all together and only looked for planets where the Trade Alliance was actually a faction minor to controlling, and we came up with Xylon, 6 out of the total 11 planets. Let us go ahead and jump into the game. As Draven Stormstrike's spaceship glides through the vast expanse of space, his mind is preoccupied with thoughts of the new target, Zyra Exoskeen. The rumors he heard about this angry Lektok have sparked a mix of curiosity and caution within him. He knows that dealing with an angry Lektok can be unpredictable and dangerous, but that's precisely what makes the challenge enticing for a seasoned nomad like himself. During his travels through the cosmos, Draven navigates the endless void with a skilled hand, relying on his piloting expertise to make swift and calculated jumps through space. The journey to Xylon is not without its moments of reflection, though. His mind drifts to past encounters, the scars he carries, and the code he lives by as a nomad. Each mission is a chance for redemption, a step closer to reclaiming his honor after the betrayal of a trusted mentor. After approaching the bioluminescent planet Xylon, the vibrant glow of the trees and the lush grove below captivates Draven's senses. The beauty of the bioluminescent colors contrasts with the gravity of his mission, reminding him that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, there's still wonder and beauty to be found. Stepping out of his spaceship, Draven takes a moment to breathe in the alien air, his mind sharpening as he readies himself for what lies ahead. He knows that tracking down Zyra Exoskeen won't be easy, but he's determined to fulfill his contract with the Trade Alliance. With every step he takes into the luminous grove, he can't help but wonder what awaits him in the depths of Xylon's bioluminescent wilderness. The hunt has begun, and Draven is prepared to face whatever challenges come his way in pursuit of his target. As a quick reminder from the ending of last week's game, we do have ourselves 2 favor, 1 notoriety, and 1 motivation going into this game as per the ending results for Draven's first bounty hunt. A speeding vehicle appears out of nowhere, and 2 hostiles who work for a powerful crime boss leap out to confront you. Roll a die. On 1 to 3 something happens, on 4 to 6 something else happens. Now before we get into the roll, there is one thing I forgot to mention, and that's threatening a hostile. There is a way to actually use our favor and talk to a hostile first to threaten them and calm them down before actually fighting them. So unfortunately the last 2 times I completely forgot about that rule. And considering we only have 2 of 6 favor, that would only give us a +1, I'm just going to go ahead and go with the roll. So let's see what we get here for our hostiles. Number 5. They're masked humans, +1 star, +1 heart. What do their masks look like, and where have you seen them before? Alright, so first of all, we have to fight them. So let's go ahead and deal with those rolls right now. So as a reminder, I currently have 4 and 3 for attack and defense, while the masked humans have 1 heart and 1 stars. Okay, so left is me, right is them. So we have double 1s here, so I instantly win the first round of combat. Not great rolls, technically. Maybe we were both completely caught off by guard, but because of my +4 and their +1, I have a 5, they have a 2, and I win the first round of combat. That means they are now down to 0 hearts, and since there's only one of them, there's no others here to worry about fighting. Technically, they do say hostiles. We will go ahead and roll the next one. Maybe we're fighting the boss, who knows. So, round number 2. And we have a 5 and a 2. This could be pretty bad for us. Oh, we end up with the 5. So that means we end up with a total of 8 and they have a total of 3. We win this round of combat as well. So now it's time to see what their masks look like and where have we seen them before, even though this is our first time here. Also, before I forget, we have to decide what to do with our hostiles. So if we spare them, we'll gain 1 favor, and if we kill them, we'll gain 1 notoriety. I think at this point, since we only have 2 favor and 1 notoriety, I'm going to go ahead and spare them, since this is probably a case of hopefully mistaken identity. So this will give us 3 favor, and we will add that into the narrative as well. In an intense shootout that echoed through the lush grove, Draven skillfully engaged the hostiles who had ambushed him. With precision and agility, he outmaneuvered their rapid attacks, making use of the bioluminescent terrain to his advantage. Draven's expertise in combat and the enhanced reflexes granted by his scar provide invaluable in this dangerous encounter. As the dust settles, Draven stood victorious, having neutralized the threat posed by the 2 hostiles. Despite the lethal nature of the confrontation, Draven chooses to spare their lives, a decision aligned with the guild's principles of only kill when necessary. He knew that while these hostiles were adversaries, they were also pawns in a larger game, following orders from higher powers within the Red Moon Syndicate or the Targ Cartel. Having studied the masks of the hostiles, they wear sleek, jet-black material with crimson streaks running across the surface, forming intricate patterns reminiscent of flames. Draven recognizes these masks from his past encounters with a notorious criminal gang known as the Red Moon Syndicate. The Red Moon Syndicate is infamous for their ruthless tactics and involvement in various illegal activities across the galaxy. Seeing these masks again brings back memories of Draven's previous confrontations with the gang, and he realizes that their presence on Xylon might indicate a connection between the Red Moon Syndicate and his new target, Zyra Exoscheme. With our first encounter finished, let's move on to destination number 1 and see where we end up. You arrive at a fortified base or palace run by the controlling faction. Resolve both. Gain 1 notoriety. If it's 4 or higher, a hostile guard approaches. And then 2, roll twice on the destination's events table. Alright, so we need to go ahead and gain ourselves 1 notoriety. It's a good thing we didn't kill the hostiles from before, which puts us to 2. And then we have to deal with a hostile guard. This is where we could potentially talk now that we have 3 favor. We will actually get a +2 because we round up, and that could help us with that. If we fail to intimidate the guard, they end up getting a +1 to their stars. So that could make them a +3, but let's take a shot and see what happens here. See if Draven is good of a talker as he is a quick shot. Okay, so first of all, we need to figure out a fortified base or palace run by the controlling faction. So what would be a fortified base or a palace? We need a base or a palace. Well, we have the Radiant Citadel, Twilight Market, Ruins of Eldorath, Starfall Lake, Glowstone Caverns, and Lumina Grove. I'm going to say that the Radiant Citadel sounds like the most base or palace-like place. So this is where we're going to end up going to for this destination. And then we need to roll a die for destination table number 1, which will be table number 1, and then number 2 will be, well, table number 2. Okay, easy enough. Let's see what we get for destination events number 1. You've heard that a reclusive mystic, mentor, or tribal shaman lives nearby. They don't receive many unexpected visitors. Roll a die. On 1 to 3 something happens, or 4 to 6 something else happens. So let's see what happens with our die roll. We end up with a number 3. They open their doors but take 1 look at your scar and refuse to let you in. What word did they keep repeating as they usher you away? The reclusive mystic mentor kept repeating the word forbidden. As Draven stood at the entrance to their home, the mentor's eyes fixated on his scar, a mysterious tattoo infused with ancient magic. It was evident that the mentor had a deep aversion to whatever the scar represented, and it became clear that Draven's presence was unwelcome within the confines of the mystical sanctuary. With a sorrowful gaze, the mentor firmly and repeatedly emphasized the forbidden nature of Draven's entry, silently closing the door to the secrets that lay within. As the heavy wooden door of the mentor's home closed before him, Draven couldn't shake the feeling of disappointment and frustration. He had heard tales of the reclusive mystic mentor's wisdom and unique insights into the cosmic energies that flowed through the universe. Desperate to seek guidance on his own journey and the quest for justice, Draven had hoped that the mentor would be willing to share some of their knowledge. However, the mentor's vehement rejection left him wondering about the enigmatic connection between his scar and the forbidden knowledge that they guarded within those secret walls. Outside the Citadel, under the shimmering glow of Xylon's bioluminescent trees, Draven found himself lost in thought. The scar on his forearm was a constant reminder of his past. Outside the home of the Mentor, under the shimmering glow of Xylon's bioluminescent trees, Draven found himself lost in thought. The scar on his forearm was a constant reminder of his past, of the betrayal that set him on his path as a Wraith Nomad. It granted him enhanced abilities, yet it seemed to carry a burden of its own, a history of pain and shattered trust. Draven wondered if the Mystic Mentor's refusal was born out of fear or a warning, hinting at the power and danger that lay in the secrets concealed within him. Despite the Mentor's rejection, Draven felt an unyielding resolve to uncover the truth behind his scar and its connection to the mystical forces in the universe. The journey ahead was filled with uncertainty, but the desire to unravel the mysteries and find his purpose was stronger than ever. With determination in his heart and the echoes of the Mentor's caution in his mind, Draven set out into the bioluminescent night, guided by the distant glimmer of hope that one day he might discover the answers he sought. And with part 1 taken care of, let's move on to Destination Events number 2. A large group of soldiers from the controlling faction are here, the New Uprising. There's no way to avoid catching their attention. Roll a die. On a 1 to 4, something happens. On a 5 to 6, something else happens. And we end up with a 6. Your Nomad's guild license holds up to inspection. Move along. Why are they checking every person's ID who passes through here? The soldiers from the New Uprising were checking every person's ID who passes through the area around the Radiant Citadel due to a recent incident involving an unauthorized individual sneaking into the Citadel. This breach of security has raised concerns among the New Uprising, and they were taking extra precautions to ensure that no further unauthorized access would occur. The Mystic Mentor's reclusive nature and their dwelling's proximity to the New Uprising's territory had made it a sensitive area, and the soldiers were ordered to be vigilant in their watch. Draven's Nomad Guild license served as his official identification and proof of his affiliations with the guild, which allowed him to travel freely across the different territories. As the soldiers confirmed the validity of his license, they acknowledged him as an authorized visitor, allowing him to continue on his way. The encounter left Draven with a sense of cautious awareness, understanding that his actions as a Wraith Nomad were being closely monitored in the area controlled by the New Uprising. With each step he took, he couldn't help but wonder how his journey on Velos might draw more attention from various factions, both friend and foe, as he pursued his elusive targets. And having completed the encounter with the soldiers from the New Uprising at the Radiant Citadel, we will move on to encounter number 2. So let's see where we are going. Oh, that was close. We almost had ourselves our first lead here already on encounter 2, but sadly our notoriety is only at a 2 and we do not encounter a lead. So otherwise, we roll on the exploration events table. So let's see what table we're rolling on. And that will be table number 6, a custom table that I've made for the game. And we will go ahead and see what event we end up getting here. As you traverse a barren wasteland, you encounter a nomadic tribe. Choose one. Show respect for their customs and traditions to gain 1 favor, or challenge their tribe's strongest warrior in combat to gain 1 notoriety. We are currently at 3 of 6 favor and 2 of 6 notoriety. What do we want to do here? If we take the notoriety, we can start getting leads already, which would be kind of helpful and maybe quicken up the game a little bit. Otherwise, we could take the favor, and that would cement us into getting better results for calming hostiles or speaking with the nobles. So I think, I kind of like going with the favor a little bit. Once we get the 4 favor, and then go from there, maybe we'll start getting notoriety next. So, what sacred ritual or ceremony do you participate in? Yes, we'll stick with the first part and gain 1 favor, choosing to show respect for their customs and traditions. So let's see what we end up getting. As Draven encounters the nomadic tribe in the barren wastelands of Xylon, he observes their solemn and sacred ritual known as the Rite of the Luminous Sky. The ceremony is performed during the rare celestial event when the twin moons of Xylon align in a perfect eclipse, casting an otherworldly glow upon the land. During the rite, the tribe gathers in a circle facing the darkened sky. They light torches and hold them high, illuminating the darkness below. As the moon aligns, the tribal elders chant ancient hymns invoking the blessings of the luminous sky upon their people. The tribe members sway to the rhythmic beat of a ceremonial drum, their bodies adorned with shimmering bioluminescent paint, resembling the glimmer of the glowing flora that surrounds them. In the heart of the ceremony, Draven is invited to participate, and he is handed a torch to hold aloft with the others. As he joins the rhythm of the ritual, he feels a sense of unity with the tribe, a connection to the world beyond his own. The experience leaves him with a newfound appreciation for the diverse cultures and customs that exist across the galaxy, reminding him of the rich tapestry of life that thrives even in the most remote and enigmatic corners of the universe. And with the ceremony complete, Draven heads out to his next destination. We arrive in a small outpost or enclave run by the challenging faction. Choose one. Search for anyone who might know your target to gain 1 favor, or speak with a local who works here, then rest to gain 1 motivation. Well, definitely speaking with the locals to try and gain 1 motivation, but first, we need to figure out where we are at. Alright, so we need a small outpost or enclave run by the challenging faction, which is the trade alliance here. So, small outpost or enclave. Well, it only makes sense that the Trade Alliance would be running the Twilight Market, so this will be the small outpost or enclave that we encounter here. And then we will go ahead and speak with a local. Okay, and for the local, we need to figure out who they are, what race or species they are. And they're a Talok, which should be reptilian, I believe. And now that we have our local, the Talok, we're going to go ahead and speak with them. So, I have currently a 4 favor, which will give me +2 to the roll, and they have nothing, so this will be a straight roll for them. And as always, left is me, right is them. And with a 1 and a 3, let's see who takes this. Well, looks like I get this. So, we go ahead and speak with the local, rolling on the Speak with Locals table, now that I've successfully encouraged them to talk to me. And let's see what they have to say. Their support for the old empire or new uprising is unwavering. Who do they champion, and what benefit would victory bring them? We've got this one before, but we will go ahead and see what they have to say about it, because there are slews of different species and races out in the galaxy. So let's see, what they have to say about their unwavering support of either of these factions. They have to win the war. It means everything to me, the Talok local says with a determined glint in their eye. I have dedicated my life to supporting the new uprising, for they represent the hope of change and liberation for the oppressive rule of the old empire. Their victory would bring a new era of freedom and equality to our people. The Talok local explains that under the old empire's rule, their species has faced discrimination and suppression, with limited opportunities to thrive. Supporting the new uprising is not just a matter of allegiance, it is a fight for their rights and a chance to reshape the future. They believe in a galaxy where everyone has a voice and is treated as equals, the Talok continues. The new uprising promises a better future for us all, and I'll do whatever it takes to see that vision come to life. Victory for the new uprising is not just a matter of pride, it's a matter of survival and the realization of our dreams. And having spoken with the local here at the Twilight Market, we then go to rest and gain 1 motivation, having listened to the local speech. And having rested at the Twilight Market, Draven moves on to exploring Xylon's wilds once again. Let's see where we end up going. Oh, sadly, there's no sign of your target, but something interrupts your hunt. Roll once on the Exploration Events table. So let's see what table we are hunting on. Number 2, okay. And what event do we end up getting? You see smoke rising on the horizon and discover a burning building. The tracks outside suggest the residents left in a hurry. Well, this is very similar to when we were on Velos. Roll a die. 1 to 2 something happens, 3 to 6 something else happens. Let's see what we get. Number 6. Okay. This was done by a different faction. Gain 1 motivation. What smoldering clue left among the ashes gives away the perpetrators? Among the smoldering ashes, Draven finds a charred piece of fabric bearing the emblem of the Mystic Order. The unique symbol of the Order is unmistakable, hinting that the fire was set by members of the Mystic Order. As Draven examines the remnants of the building, he begins to piece together the motive behind the attack. It appears that the Mystic Order wanted to destroy or remove any evidence that could have revealed valuable information or hidden secrets related to their activities on Xylon. Draven's discovery of the Mystic Order's involvement deepens the mystery surrounding the faction's actions on the planet. He realizes that the Mystic Order is operating with hidden agendas and may be involved in activities beyond what he originally suspected. The burning building becomes a significant clue that could potentially lead Draven to uncovering more about the Mystic Order's plans and their connection to Zyra Exoskeen. Having found the emblem and gaining a little bit of motivation from this, Draven continues on to destination number 3 here on Xylon. Let's see where he ends up going. You arrive at a small spaceport run by the challenging faction. Resolve both. Gain 1 notoriety. If it's 5 or higher, a hostile guard approaches, which it's not, but we are now at 3. And roll twice on the destinations event table. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of that. Let's see. First of all, we got to figure out where we are here. So we need a spaceport. Arrive at a small spaceport. What could be considered? It's going to be Starfall Lake. That's the only one that makes sense here. So we arrive at the spaceport Starfall Lake. And since we have to roll twice on 2 different tables, we'll see that we have to roll on table number 3 and then table number 5. Alright, let's see what table number 3 has in store for Draven here at the Starfall Lake spaceport. A monster is loose and the locals are struggling to contain it. It's unusual to see these creatures in populated areas. Choose one. Attack and subdue the monster to gain 1 notoriety, or simply watch the chaos unfold to gain 1 favor. Where has the monster come from? What do we decide to do? As usual, I think Draven is going to follow the code and not get attached or, help when is unnecessary. And he's simply going to watch the chaos unfold to gain 1 favor, because with 4 stars and 1 heart, that could be a tricky battle. So let's go ahead and see what happens. The monster that is loose at the Starfall Lake spaceport is a rare and powerful creature known as the Frost-Scale Draken. It normally resides in the frozen wilderness of Xylon, but somehow it has found its way into the populated area of the spaceport. The creature has been enraged by a disturbance in its natural habitat caused by a group of reckless scavengers. These scavengers ventured into the Draken's territory, disturbing its nest and stealing precious crystals that the Frost-Scale Drake uses to hibernate during the long winter months. The theft of these crystals has disrupted the creature's natural rhythm, driving it into a frenzy and causing it to lash out at anything and anyone in its path. The locals at the spaceport are now struggling to contain the enraged creature and prevent it from causing further chaos and destruction. But unfortunately for them, Draven the Nomad decides not to assist them in containing the beast. Leaving the attacking monster to the residents of the spaceport to deal with, we go on to event number 5. A legendary warrior or skilled combatant is rumored to reside in this location. Choose one. Challenge the warrior to a duel, gaining 1 notoriety, or seek training and guidance from the warrior, gaining 1 favor. Well, right now we are currently at 5 of 6 favor, so I guess getting the notoriety is going to be the way to go here. So we're going to go ahead and challenge them, putting us at 4 of 6 notoriety now. And then we'll see what they have to say about the fight. In the duel with the legendary warrior at the Starfall Lake spaceport, Draven puts up an impressive fight, showcasing his agility and combat skills. However, the legendary warrior proves to be a formidable opponent, and the battle is intense and evenly matched. The duel tests Draven's abilities to the limits, but in the end, he emerges victorious, landing a decisive blow that incapacitates the skilled combatant. From this encounter, Draven learns that the legendary warrior was once a prominent figure in the New Uprising, known for their exceptional combat prowess and strategic brilliance. However, they grew disillusioned with the faction's approach to the intergalactic war and eventually chose to leave the New Uprising behind. Now, the warrior prefers to lead a solitary life, away from the conflicts and turmoil of the galaxy. Draven also discovers that the warrior has valuable information about Zyra Exoskeen's activities and whereabouts, which could prove crucial in Draven's quest to apprehend her and deliver justice for the crime she's committed. And with Destination 3 completed, this is a good time for us to part ways with Draven temporarily until next week, where we will continue the search for Zyra Exoskeen here on the planet Xylon to see what they are up to. Thanks again, Bounty Hunters, for joining me on this hunt, and always remember, no disintegration rays. Until next time,